So one of my favorite oils that I have used for over 20 years, and I fell in love with it the first time I used it, is Cypress. Cypress oil is so versatile in what it does. And one thing I love about cypress oil, it's mentioned throughout scripture and it's mentioned in, medicinal readings and writings from Egypt and throughout the Middle East in historical times. But cypress oil is so, in my opinion, gentle, but it supports many of the body systems. It supports the respiratory system. So it's great in the diffuser. I love cypress with grapefruit. Absolutely. So in a diffuser, I'll put like 3 drops of cypress and maybe like 5 or 6 drops of grapefruit, and it is amazing. So cypress is really beneficial for that, the respiratory health. But cypress, beginning with a C, is really, it shines with the circulatory system. So when I would work on clients many years ago when I had a practice, when I would have a client that I thought needed some additional blood flow into especially the extremities, I would put cypress in with my favorite was the Cellite Magic massage oil base. And I felt like that cypress would bring in circulation and blood flow, and it's very supportive for moving the lymph. So I would start with, I would mix it together. I would take some of the Cellite Magic Oil. I don't know if I have any here. I might have it somewhere. I could grab it for you. It's a massage oil blend that smells divine, but is extremely supportive for the lymphatic system. So I take a little, about a quarter size of the Cellite Magic Oil, and then I'd spike it with maybe 3 or 4 more drops of cypress. And I would use that, and I would start to work from the toes up towards the knees and up the leg, and just massaging it and kind of pushing stuff forward. And cypress would benefit, I think, God, I'm trying to remember if I did it with my sister when she was really having a lot of water when she was pregnant, because cypress is so gentle. It's one of those things that you're not gonna get into a situation where you're gonna have someone detox too much or something like that for most people. Again, there's always the exception, but it's so supportive of that circulatory system. And my clients that ranged from younger teenagers all the way through over 100 years old, I would use cypress on almost everybody. So cypress, circulation, remember those two things go together. So if you really wanted to support the circulatory system, what else could you do? Well, you could put it where you see some veins, right? You could put it on the surface where it can really be highly absorbed. Cypress is also part of the raindrop technique, which the oils go on the spine that create a really relaxing environment, but also promote, a feeling of calmness and wholeness and health. And cypress is in there because it is warming to the muscles, it's relaxing to the muscles, and it brings in circulation. So when you bring in circulation, think about this. When it's just, not to make a bad example, but think about when you see a big crumb of cookie on a sidewalk and the ants come, right? Think of the ants as like blood flow with circulation. And then the ants come in and they break off little pieces, and then they carry away that cookie in like a bunch of pieces. That's the same thing that happens when we bring in that blood flow. So that blood flow is going to come in and bring attention to an area which we're working on, and then take away the things that are not supposed to be there. So get it? It's very, very handy. Now, one thing I always want to talk about when we're talking about tree oils like cypress. So think about your body as a tree, and any of the oils that come from trees are going to support the musculoskeletal system. And cypress is another one of those. Your other firs, your spruces, your, what else? Pine oil, anything of that nature is going to be very supportive of your musculoskeletal system. But cypress, again, is a champion in my opinion. It's one that's most likely not going to get hot on the skin, but if you want to use caution, start with the dilution. It's not necessarily one that I would take internally. I know that it can be supportive, for people, if you do hit kidney compresses or even over the bladder, if somebody's, trying to support that area of their body, you could put a drop or two of Cypress there and then do a warm compress. Might be very helpful in that way. But Cypress is an oil that I think is a jack of all trades and pretty much supports anything that you would want it to. And of course, above all, it's got such a great aroma. Just smelling this. You will see me do the inhalation that's not always the best because I know these oils so well. I might go right up to my nose. But, if the way we do this, we come up and then we waft it. But I know this oil very well. And it just, emotionally, it's very uplifting. I think this is the oil that helps support the will. If you're feeling like you need will and strength to do something, Cypress oil might be one you would grab. You could apply it topically, you could diffuse it. If you're going to apply it topically, anytime you put anything around the neck, just always watch that you don't get red because I'm so fair-skinned. A friend of mine was talking to my mom last weekend and said, I can't believe how white Jen is. So, part vampire. So I have to be really careful with what I put on my skin. But Cypress oil is one that I have used for many, many years, especially on my joints, my knees. My knees they just weren't very flexible and they would sometimes ache. And I would use Cypress, lemongrass, and black pepper oil together, all three of them on my knees. And it was like magic. It really was. It was really like magic. But above all, like I said, the aroma is, oh gosh. I've never tried this alone in the diffuser. I might do that today. I've always put it with the citrus oil, but I think I might just do this by itself. So I'm going to conclude this video and I'm going to get over there to right where my diffuser is and I'm going to diffuse some Cypress.